was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of HD remasters. It was the age of broken releases. It was the epoch of global connection. It was the epoch of paid online services. It was the season of light. It was the season of dark. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. We had exciting exclusives before us. We had lackluster sequels before us. We were all going to heaven. We were all going direct the other way. In short, the Xbox One and I are a failed married couple. Our honeymoon has been over for a while now. We just settled into a newly mortgaged house, and the Xbox and I had realized that we don't love each other quite like we used to. That got fucking dark. I purchased my 360 in the summer of 2011. I had been reading from online articles that Microsoft had decided this to be its midlife crisis. You see, I never purchased anything at launch out of an extreme cynical distrust of this industry. With the price dropping low, I decided to purchase a white Xbox 360 arcade and a few games for relatively cheap. For the most part, I felt completely justified in my purchase of the 360. There were enough exclusives to vindicate owning one, the multiplats ran on par with its competitors, and an arcade giving access to AAA indie sorts of games ranging from good to kinda shit. There was even an included indie store, even if it was cancerous garbage. Although not once in my ownership since 2011 have I ever experienced any technical failures with my system or hardware, I have heard horror stories of other 360 owners experiencing their consoles completely bricking. I remember a friend who was a drummer in a few bands I was in. His console had red-ringed 5 times between 2008 to 2010 when he abandoned the system. Having to deal with Xbox support, I must say, I really cannot blame him. But the point is, I was satisfied with my purchase of the 360, and I was eager to see what the next generation could bring to the market. Come November 2013, the Xbox One was available on most store shelves. I was not impressed. I decided to wait until something exciting and new was out until I would purchase one. By September 2015, I had earned a rather large check via working overtime for something at my job, and instead of being fiscally responsible, I decided to impulse buy the Forza 6 edition of the Xbox One. I had the gut feeling that it was way too soon in the One's life cycle for me to be satisfied, but I took the plunge anyway because I had faith in the Microsoft due to my previous experiences with the company. That was a mistake. The Xbox One's library is terrible. Exclusives are an overall harm to the potential growth of the video game industry, but with the way it's currently structured, they're almost a necessary evil. But the Xbox is a product I feel right now being hurt the most by this. Let's take a look at some of the best Xbox games, at least according to Metacritic. The highest exclusive is a racing game. Next up is an indie title. As for multiplats, it really doesn't matter what console you play them on, you just gotta understand that they're gonna run at better resolution and frame rates on the PC. I also want to emphasize that a lot of these games were broken on launch. That is just unacceptable business. Here's a list of supposed system-selling exclusives. Dead Rising 3, a sequel. Rise, Son of Rome. Forza Motorsport 5, a sequel. Killer Instinct remake. Halo Remastered. Halo 5, a sequel. Gears of War Remaster. Gears of War 4, a sequel. Dead Rising 4, a sequel. Rare Replay. Project Spark. Forza Motorsport 6, a sequel. Forza Horizon 3, a sequel. Quantum Break. Sunset Overdrive. Crackdown 3, a sequel. Halo Wars Remaster. Halo Wars 2, a sequel. Cuphead. Scalebound. Scalebound is basically the reason I'm doing this right now. That was the proverbial straw that broke the camel's back, the final beacon I was holding out for to turn my opinion around on this hunk of plastic. But no, it's cancelled now. And judging from statements by both the studio and the game's director Hideki Kamiya, it seems like Platinum just wanted to make a good game and the publisher stepped in to shut it down. I want to establish that I'm pretty much talking about every one of the big 3 here. They all have high number of sequels and crappy exclusives. Just in my opinion, Microsoft has handled this generation the most creatively bankrupt by milking all of their properties to death and being the most anti-consumer over the last few years. The This point also applies to the current generation of consoles, but again, I feel that Microsoft has handled it the worst. It's also a point that has been abundantly proven by everyone before me. It's still bullshit, though. Everyone's starting experience with the Xbox One has been the same story. Buy the console, set it up, turn it on, install the update, insert the disc, download the game. Depending on internet speed, it can take hours to go from unboxing the one to actually playing it. Keep in mind that there was a patch out released at launch. Not to mention, updates and content are regularly patched to games that won't start unless you are connected to the internet. During the 360 lifespan, I received a few interface changes, but I don't think at any point was the interface confusing to navigate. I thought that Microsoft had interface design down pat. I thought wrong. The home screen is needlessly bloated and full of ads, even though I fucking pay for Xbox Live. It has a nonsensical tab and menu navigation. To top it all off, the menu sometimes lags or feels sluggish to select things. I also feel like the menus in games lag occasionally. These are all the types of innovations that should make the process of playing the Xbox more smooth and user-friendly. I figured that as more powerful hardware became cheaper and readily available, the simpler things should go up in quality instead of down. At least that's what makes sense to me. And as a side note, paying for proprietary online services is an incredible ripoff. With Sony starting this on the PS4 with PS Plus and Nintendo doing it for the Switch, I can't help but feel that Microsoft is responsible for this wholly anti-consumer mindset becoming the norm for these companies. I have to at least give credit to the fact that these companies are giving you free games on a monthly basis in exchange for these charges. It doesn't stop it from being complete bullshit still. I enjoyed the 360 controller. I have relatively large hands and I always found the controller rather comfortable in them. I also feel the controller was rugged and sturdy enough to survive the years of use I put it through without much of a problem. Replacements also weren't very expensive. The Xbox One controller is almost exactly the same, albeit slightly more compact. It still fits in my hand well. The D-pad is improved and the triggers have a rumble feature in them, so there is marginal progress there. The battery case is terrible. I've had instances where the batteries will jiggle around while it's closed and periodically shut the controller off. The shoulder buttons are also held on by a cheap piece of plastic and break often. I need to assert here that I baby my controllers and it still ended up ruined. There are also $59.99 for the cheapest one. Thanks, Microsoft. Minor gripe here. I own the Forza 6 edition of the Xbox One and it plays an exclusive sound whenever powering up or down.
Seriously?
Since owning this console, I've developed a near Pavlovian response to this chalkboard scraping sound hitting my ears. I have to mentally prepare myself prior to turning on or off this console because of how cringy it is. They have recently released an update where you can finally turn it off. I'm a simple man. I like pretty fun games and breakfast food. But I purchased this next-gen console 22 months after its initial release, and I still have not been able to rationalize as to why I wanted one. I still don't feel like that killer app has been launched that will warrant the purchase of the Xbox One. I regret buying one early. With the way things have been going, I think eventually I will regret buying one at all. This is not a decision that I came to quickly or lightly. I am a shrewd consumer, usually in the late majority of tech buyers. The reason I explain my history with this company is to show that this isn't out of baseless hatred or love for this company. This was a purchase in the hopes that this company was going to impress me. I felt confident to drop money on a product that were capable of playing games that were going to wow me. Over the last few months, that confidence is all but gone.
Two years ago, when we started on this journey, you told us you wanted certain things from us. You wanted power. You wanted community. You wanted choice. This product that we're announcing today is absolutely the culmination of all of your feedback and something that we think will truly move Xbox forward.
Can't wait to see what developers actually do with all that horsepower in the box.
Well, the box we're building is incredible. It's going to have 8 CPU cores, over 320 gigabytes per second of memory bandwidth, 6 teraflops of GPU power,